Hello, and welcome to the section number 7 of our video course, Coding Problems for Web Workers and GPU. In the first video, we're going to talk about problem number 1 with Web Workers solution. Here is a problem. Please write Web Worker, which can be controlled from a main page by clicking on the buttons. Create 3 commands, start, stop, and unknown command. When you click on the stop button, the other 2 buttons must not work anymore, and Web Worker should be stopped. To run a Web Worker, we need to launch a local server. You can have several configurations for it, but the one that I suggest you to use is the following. If you do not have an NPM or Node Package Manager installed on your machine, go ahead and install it. You can use this URL. Then go to console and run the following command: npm install http server/g. This should install the server for you. Then you can simply run the command http server in the folder where you located your source files, and it will be showing them in the browser. So for this purpose, we will need to create 2 files. One is index.html, and second one is our worker.js file, where we're going to store our Web Worker code. So I already have created these 2 files by using VS Code. And let's start by modifying index.html file and adding some code there. Alright, so basically what we're doing here, we're defining a body of our HTML document and we're adding a script which is going to invoke our worker code from this location and initiate it by posting a message to it. Let's add some sample code to our worker.js file. Okay, so now that we have created a basic structure, let's start modifying our code to make solution for our problem. First, let's add controls to our HTML page. Now, let's modify our worker script. Okay, so let's just quickly analyze what do we have here. On receiving an event from our main calling thread, we're going to use a switch case to understand whether the message that was passed in was a start, stop, or unknown one. Pay attention that in case of stop message, we're also going to terminate the worker by invoking its self.close event. There are actually 2 ways to stop a worker: by calling worker.terminate from the main page or by calling self.close inside of the worker itself. This is the case of what we use right now. So let's now run our code and see the results. So for this purpose, I have used HTTP server in order to run it locally. Now let's start our worker. As you can see, it have sent back an output message saying worker started. When we send an unknown command, it's going to interpret it properly and send back saying that command is unknown. And once we click on stop button, it will terminate the worker, so the buttons will no longer work. And we can test it by click again on start or unknown buttons.